Hello, my name is Ben Hovland, and I'm a commissioner with the U.S. Election Assistance Commission, or EAC. As the federal clearinghouse on election administration, the EAC is working to provide information and resources for election officials and offering whatever support we can at the federal level to help state and local officials administer safe, secure, accessible, and accurate elections. Today's video chat is focused on I voted sticker contests, which at first glance may seem like a slightly more lighthearted subject than we usually discuss. However, if you've ever been a poll worker and run out of stickers, you know it's serious business for many voters around the country. Joking aside, I voted sticker contests are both a nice opportunity to bring some fun and creativity to the office, but also great for community engagement and outreach. At a time when we're looking for more ways to engage Americans, to provide facts about how our elections run, and to help people know who their state and local election officials are, and that they are the trusted source for accurate election information, I voted sticker contests are a potential tool for election officials to connect to their community. For these reasons and more, the EAC decided to recognize creative and original I voted stickers as a clearinghouse award, or Cleary category. The Clearys are one way the EAC brings attention to some of the excellent work being done by election offices around the country and shares those ideas to further strengthen election administration in the U.S. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by a great panel of election officials who have all had I voted sticker contests. I'm looking forward to hearing more about their experience, and I know they will have some great tips for any officials watching this and thinking about undertaking a similar effort. Joining me today are Jackie Beaudry, who has served as the city clerk for Ann Arbor, Michigan since 2005. Her efforts in that role have been recognized locally, where she was the 2019 recipient of the prestigious Michigan City Clerk of the Year Award. For those of you not familiar with elections in Michigan, they are run at the municipal level, and those are a lot of clerks. So to win that is a big deal. And Jackie has also been recognized nationally, winning multiple Clearys, including a 2020 Cleary for Ann Arbor's I voted stickers. Next is Erin Perrone, who is the Deputy Director with the Carroll County, Maryland Board of Elections. Prior to her role with Carroll County, Erin was at the Maryland State Board of Elections, where she played an integral role in Maryland's statewide I voted sticker contest, which was also recognized with a Cleary for 2021. Finally, Commissioner Ashley Torres from the Ulster County, New York Board of Elections, where she has worked since 2010, serving as the Elections Commissioner since 2017. Thank you all for taking the time to speak with me today and joining. And I'd really love to just jump right in, and I'd like to hear everything about your sticker contests. And so, Jackie, I'll start with you, but this is going to be for everybody. We'll go in the order I introduced you, but it would be great to hear about, sort of what the motivation was for this. Was this your first contest? Who was able to submit? Did you have age categories? I think I've seen that in some of the stickers. And then who judged this? Was it a panel? Was it a public vote? Sort of how it all came together.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ben.
And that was a lot, and I can repeat any of it if you need me to.
And thank you for having me. So we started in 2020 with our contest, and prior to that, we had asked a vendor to just tweak our standard I voted to say I voted in Ann Arbor, and the public really seemed to like that it was somewhat custom to our city. So we got the idea to have the competition, and this was pre-pandemic, but we thought this out as a year-long competition. So we introduced with a press release, the contest to the public in January of 2020. And we had a timeline that the entries would be submitted through the end of March, and then a springtime public voting, and then with time to recognize the winners and print the sticker for November. we worked in conjunction with our Public Art Commission. We really wanted to recognize that it was an artistic competition. And so one of the tips that the Art Commission gave us was to actually award a monetary compensation for use of the design. So we did do K through 6 and a 7 through 12 competition, as well as a citywide, and the winner of each competition was awarded a prize in recognition of the fact that artists, that there's value in their work. So that was something in partnership with our Public Art Commission that we did. We actually embarked on this again, thinking the public had an interest in sort of pride in our community. And then also to promote interest in the upcoming national election. We had introduced selfie stations. We had introduced a hashtag A2 votes. And then we got the idea that what if people not just took a selfie at the polling place on election day, but if they either a digital version of a sticker or some interest in promoting Ann Arbor elections. And so that was kind of the initial thought behind the competition. And then when the pandemic hit, it really was embraced by the public. It was the design piece of it was right in the midst of our stay home order in Michigan. So I think the students loved it. It was something, to do at home. And so we just had a lot of community support for the project. We also, I say there was a public voting, but to back that up, we had a panel of judges from both the elections world as well as the art community. And we're a university town, so we had the good fortune of our University of Michigan School of Art and Design. We had 2 professors from the academic level or university level. And then also the Art Commission encouraged us to reach out to the public schools for a different perspective on what K through 6 design might look like. So we did also have one of the art teachers from the elementary level as a judge. So those judges looked at all the finalists and picked, we were interested in a top 3 for the public. And it was interesting because we had about 10 judges and the top 3 to 5 really quickly emerged. And so from there, the public voted online. And
I think we've got those. I don't know if we can pull those up just so folks can see the eventual winners. But sorry, I cut you off. So there's some good looking stickers.
And we there was a lot of interest in our community we encouraged but didn't require something that promoted the city of Ann Arbor. And so the K through 6 sticker, if you can see it's sort of the part of the Michigan shape, and the star is where Ann Arbor would be within the state of Michigan. So that was our K through 6 winner. Then other prominent landmarks around town, the Michigan Theater marquee, were Michigan Stadium where our football team plays. Lots of landmarks were common in our sticker theme.
Those are great. Well, thank you for sharing that. Erin, I think I am a Marylander now, so I certainly am a big fan of the Maryland stickers, but I think one thing that's unique there is this was a statewide contest run by the State Board of Elections. And, again, if you could tell us a little bit more about how that came together, I would love to hear about it.
Sure, absolutely. And thank you for having me. So as Ben said, yes, this was a state of Maryland effort. We are different from other states where Maryland elections are run from the top down. So my motivation behind this, and as Ben mentioned earlier, I was the Director of Election Reform and Management at the State Board of Elections. And after our 2018 gubernatorial general election, I received a very blunt but kind letter from a Montgomery County student who basically said our I voted stickers were boring. Okay. So she in the letter, she said that, you know, we can do better, and it would be a great opportunity for young folks to get involved in democracy and in our elections if we had an I voted sticker contest. So I took that. It was our first contest ever doing something like that. So we had, I worked with the Department of Education, the Maryland State Department of Education, and reached out to someone in the Fine Arts Division. And she was the director of fine arts for the state of Maryland. And she took this and she was very excited about it. This happened in pre-pandemic. So in 2019, I think it was the end of the school year in 2019, I want to say probably May or June, I got to attend a meeting with her with all these fine arts teachers from different counties. So they were just excited about it as I was. So over the summer, all these teachers kind of put this into their program for the new fall semester. So we had, again, we had all these art teachers kind of do a project in their classes. So we had 3 categories. We had elementary school, middle school, and then high school. And anyone in a public school could do the contest, but it was also open to the public because we wanted to include students who may have been homeschooled. So just like Jackie, we got, well, I didn't see them. I got to see some of them, but hundreds of submissions. And just like Jackie's contest as well, this is about art. This is about their own creation. So they had a panel of judges. It wasn't us from the elections. It was art professionals, some art teachers, local artists as well. And then each submission was basically evaluated on a different type of criteria. So like creativity, craftsmanship, technique, and the concept. And then once all those initial submissions were narrowed down, we had a top 3 stickers from each category. So top 3 elementary, top 3 middle school, top 3 high school. And then I think it was in November of 2019, that's when, once those were narrowed down, that's when on social media, then public voting occurred. So anybody could vote for the top in elementary, middle, and high school. And then that's how the winner was determined. So we had 3 top winners, and it was very fun. I enjoyed it.
And I think we've got those that we can show off. Again, I've got one on my notebook, but I think we've got a slide that will do them more justice. There they are, all great, and show a lot of Maryland state pride there.
Yes.
So certainly appreciate those.
Yeah, it's amazing. The top in the left there, that's the elementary school winner. The middle school winner is off to the right in the middle, and then the high school winner is on the bottom. And both, I think the elementary and middle school winners were from Montgomery County, and then the bottom was from Queen Anne's County.
Queen Anne's County on the other side of the Bay Bridge there. That's
right. Hence the Bay Bridge.
Well, thank you for sharing that and that story. Ashley, would love to hear more about your experience in Ulster County and how, again, sort of how you decided to do this, how the experience went, sort of how you opened it up, judged it, etc.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for having me, Ben. This is really a lot of fun. I love talking about this. I feel like it's all I talked about for a lot of 2022. But our contest, the motivation for it was to engage with our young voters in Ulster County. New York has a pre-registration law. So people that are as young as 16 can pre-register, fill out a form, and then when they turn 18, we automatically turn them into active voters. So this is a relatively new law, 2019. This was something that we were trying to introduce, talk to about in our schools. So that was our motivation for starting what is now our student engagement, our youth engagement program. So that's a couple of things that we've done. We have a coloring book that talks about Ulster County and all of the different offices that we have and sort of the structure of our state and county and local government. It also talks about how to register to vote, and we send that out to our poll sites. A lot of people bring their kids with them to vote, so they have something to occupy them while they vote, and also to take home and learn a little bit more about how voting works. And it's good for the kids. It's also good for the parents. So that is it. It hits a lot of different prongs. The sticker contest we launched in 2021. So this was our second year doing it in 2022. The contest rules are fairly simple. We ask all of our 10 area public high school, middle schools. We go to their art departments and their history departments in March. We also reach out to homeschool networks, and we have a few private academies. So we try to get as much of a wide net as we can. We leave the creativity up to the student. We just stipulate that it has to say somewhere on there, I voted. And then we have it open through the end of the school year. We work with the schools in May doing their budget elections. So we promote it at those events. And then we wait for the submissions. Once we get the contest closes for submissions, internally in our office, we're a staff of 14 people serving 127,000 voters. We choose our favorites sort of in a ranked choice style exercise. And then those 5 or 6 finalists we put on our website, our voting website. And then we sort of leave it to the public discourse to choose their top favorite sticker. And we promise the voters that we will publish whatever wins and give it out at our general election. The first contest we did in 2021 had about 2,000 participants on the online polling. And this year, much more engagement on our online poll. So it's pretty basic. It's not a lot of heavy lifting on our part, but it is something that we really love doing. It's very fun.
Ashley, you sort of hinted at it, but your winner ended up going, I guess, certainly probably viral as far as these things are concerned. And your winner might be an example of why some people who are watching this would be nervous or maybe not undertake an effort like this. Can we see that? Can we see the Ulster County winner real quick for anyone that's not familiar with it? There it is, amazing sticker. And Ashley, Ulster County, to your credit, really leaned into this design. Again, it kind of took off online. It obviously is maybe a little non-traditional, but you made the most of it. And I was hoping you could share a little bit about that experience and just how you embraced it.
Of course, yeah. So our voting starts in early July, and it was that first weekend in July 4th. And we put it out. We went home for the weekend. We'll see you. It's a long weekend. We just finished up a primary. It's like our first weekend of sort of normalcy for a little bit in our summer session. So over that weekend, I noticed that the contest was getting a lot of hits. So I checked the website a few times, and in about 24 hours, it far surpassed our first year of voting. And I said, okay, we always kind of thought that it could go viral. Myself and my counterpart, John, were both relatively young as far as commissioners in New York State go. And so we talked about it. We said, this is a very different alternative design. That's the reason why we liked it so much, because we sometimes feel like that sticker, when we're doing elections, it sort of reflects our feelings, also the feelings of our voters. So we kind of thought, okay, well, this could happen. And if it does happen, that's fine. We'll definitely embrace it, because it gave us so many opportunities to talk about all of our programs, all of our elections. We had a surprise special August election that ended up kind of coming out of nowhere, a curveball for us. So when it did start going viral, the first thing I definitely needed to do, and my top priority, was getting a hold of the student and his parents, just so that they knew what was going on. I was very protective of Hudson Rowan and making sure that he knew that he was comfortable with talking to press, because I was getting press inquiries, people calling, wanting to talk to Hudson, wanting to talk to us. And I just wanted to make sure that he was comfortable with all that and that his parents were okay with it, because he is, at the end of the day, a 14-year-old high school student, and I didn't want him to feel weird or pressure or anything like that. So that was my top priority. I wanted to make sure that he was okay with it. Luckily, he fully embraced it as well. He very much loved the attention and loved talking about his artwork and his creativity, because what you see in the sticker, he actually does a lot of that cartoon work, and he's been doing that, I know now, his entire, all 14 years of his life, he's been doing this kind of creative doodling and artwork, and he participates in a bunch of creative programs that we have in Ulster County. So he loved it, we loved it, and we sort of had this agreement where we would work together to talk to anybody that wanted to interview us and get information about our contest, why we did it, what his thought process was, and for our end on the election side, to really use it as a launching point to talk about inspector recruitment and all of the elections that we had going on, just to inform our public and more broadly our surrounding community in the Hudson Valley and in the state. So it was something that we definitely embraced. I went a little creative on my own. I made it my Halloween costume. Early voting in New York, it's 10 days before Election Day, which during the November and October election, Halloween fell during the early voting period. So I made the costume. I went to poll sites. I posed with voters. We gave out candy to kids. That created another little news cycle in and of itself. And we just really had so much fun with it, because it didn't really matter what side of the political spectrum people were on. Everybody projected their personal feelings onto it, and overwhelmingly positive. People were really having a lot of fun with it and sharing it with their friends, and they couldn't wait until we had it available for them to go and vote and get that sticker.
That's great. And you hit on a couple big things in there. That make me think about sort of the next question for all of you. Erin, we'll let you start with this one, but I think as Ashley did a great job there of highlighting, these contests can be a bit of fun, but they're also a great opportunity to engage with your community. Can you talk about that, or share any specific stories about the other ways that the sticker contest was useful? And again, we'll start with Erin and then go to Jackie. Ashley, will give you a minute to catch your breath.
Yeah, absolutely. So of course, our contest engaged our young people, right? We worked again directly with the Maryland State Department of Education. I attended that kickoff meeting. So it not only got our young people excited, but the education department as well, and the teachers there. So also, again, this was pre-pandemic and right before COVID hit, before we were all shut down. I think it was March 5th of 2020. Our First Lady of Maryland, she has this art expo where she has everybody at the State House and then puts these art pieces, and it's mostly for young folks. And it was great because I got invited to it. And also the winners of the contest were invited. And that's where, and like Jackie said too, we had incentives for people to participate. And we had, I think, gift cards for the winners, and also the teachers of the winners. They got a gift card for art supplies or whatnot for their classrooms. So the students that won got a gift card that they could get art supplies and whatnot. But they were presented their awards there at that expo that the First Lady had. So it was very, very cool to see that. The kids were excited. Their parents came, their grandparents came. Other than that, though, some of our local election boards, Carroll County for one, we kind of want to do it also on a more county level, like Jackie and Ashley do, so that we can engage our Carroll County voters. We have a voter registration population of almost 130,000. We started doing something in our sample ballot for this past general election. We only got like maybe 3 submissions, but it takes time for people to catch on to that. So definitely young people, it's important for young people to get involved. Also the teachers, which then have, adults. I'm kind of excited about it. And I don't know if the state board is going to do it for the 2024 elections or whatnot, but yeah, just having that the young people get involved is very cool.
That's great. Thank you. Jackie, are there any stories that stand out to you from your experience that you would want to share, or other ways that you saw benefits to the community from this effort?
Well, thank you. I mentioned earlier that our contest, not planned, but happened to line up with the pandemic and the stay home order. And so it was a sort of a bright spot in the community at a rough time for not just Michigan, but the whole country. But one of the things that the sticker contest, I felt like helped us, because of the pandemic, Michigan moved to a vote by mail. We were previously like reasons were needed to vote absentee, and we were just implementing no reason absentee as the pandemic hit. So that worked in our favor. And again, we were pushing, you can still, even if you don't have that in-person election day experience, we've created this hashtag A2 votes. You can share your experience online. We'll follow you. And so the sticker really helped our voters transition to, I can still feel like I'm part of election day, even if it's a vote by mail kind of experience. And the fact that we printed 3 designs, it sort of created this buzz, and people were online. My husband got his ballot and he got a different sticker than I got, and who else is out there and what stickers are available. And so there was just, I think that helped create interest. And so it just, you can do it at any time, but for us, being that it was a real switch in how elections are run in Michigan with the pandemic, it was just a really nice bright spot that I think really worked well for. And long term, we still hear from our overseas voters. They love that our sticker says Ann Arbor, and so they feel that connection, and we get a lot of online posts from overseas that they got their move ballot and it had a I voted in Ann Arbor sticker. So I think people really enjoyed it.
That's great. Ashley, you hit on a few of these earlier, but just anything else that you would add?
Yeah, it really helped us get some younger election inspectors. We had people reaching out to us wanting to know how they could help, that they had seen the sticker, that do you need any help with your workforce? We said, yeah, we always need help with that. So sign on up and you can hand it out at your poll site, because we'll train you in August and you'll be ready to work in November. The other thing too, that with so much of it being in the media, we really harped on making our messaging very clear and concise, so that it was always the same, whatever article you read, whether it was the Times article or the Washington Post. We really were very conscious of making sure that the messaging stayed the same, and that we were always referencing people, whether they were our own voters or voters from other states, just to make sure that they knew which resources they needed to reference so that they were ready to vote when the time came to it. So that was something that we had a sit-down meeting, all of this attention, how best can we target this messaging? So it really helped us. I cannot stress enough how incredibly wildly reformed New York elections have been in the last few years. We've had dozens and dozens of law changes, and that it seems like a constant in New York the last 4 years. So we really used it to amplify changes to our absentee ballots, changes to how people can vote early. And it was a very good opportunity, and we knew that. So we wanted to make sure that we capitalized on it, because we know we're not going to get 250,000 people voting on our sticker every year. So this is our real one shot of amplifying the messaging that we think is important, especially for young people.
That's great. You know, and it really, you know, to me, I've heard a lot of reasons why, but if you know, if this is for everybody, again, Ashley, we'll start with you and kind of go reverse order. You know, if there's an election official watching this video and they're still on the fence, you know, I'd be interested what you'd tell them, you know, maybe any lessons learned you'd share. Essentially, you know, what do you know now that you wish you would have known when you started this endeavor?
So really, I've been talking to election officials in New York all week, and already a bunch of them have approached me and said, you've inspired us. We're going to do this contest too. I mean, I set expectations. I said the first year we had 2,000 votes. I didn't expect that we would get whatever this humanoid spider crab is to capture the hearts and minds of a nation. So you know, setting expectations is a good thing, but also making sure that you have in place your tools. So if you're going to use an online platform, make sure that you talk to your tech department. This did not happen this year. It actually happened last year, where it was a bunch of students that we had as 5 finalists, and very overzealous parents were multi-voting on the website, double, triple voting. We connected
For the stickers. For the stickers,
exactly. This is not a real election. I had to remind a few people of that this year, that this is it's a community engagement program. But in our first year, we had some excited parents who would go on every day and vote for their student. So last year we put in place with our IT department a limit on 1 vote per IP address. So that very much helped us this year when the sticker contest went viral. And I can only speculate that it would have been overinflated if we didn't have that, if people could go on and vote for it many, many times. So definitely, if you're going to use an online platform, talk to your IT people, make sure that they're on the same page as you. If you do have one that goes viral, make sure that your website doesn't crash, because then you'll hear about that as well. Luckily, we anticipated that it could, so we talked to them the first weekend and made sure that everything was juiced up for the online voting. And really, just when you are working with students, I referenced this before, but it's really important to talk to their parents, make sure that there's a comfort level there, because their names are out there. We had a student that didn't want their last name used. Totally cool. We want to make sure that their privacy is secure, and that they feel comfortable with the potential for getting attention. The internet can be a weird place, so that's something to be mindful of. Luckily, our student embraced it. One thing, I don't think this is a common thing, but he had a lot of requests for merchandise, and so I had to talk to his parents about how to set that up. I wasn't going to sell stuff, but I said, maybe you could do that. Maybe that'll be your college fund. I actually am wearing one of his sweatshirts right now. So yeah, those are just some things to think of. Don't be scared of doing it. Ben, you referenced this earlier. It's really important for people to know who we are and to trust us. And it's programs like I Voted stickers that really show people that we are local people. We're invested in the community, and we're approachable, and we're people that are a resource, not an enemy or somebody to be mistrusted.
That's great. Thank you for that. Erin, anything you'd add as far as lessons learned or you know, what you wish you would, well, actually, you said you might be taking this on in Carroll County. So, you know, what are some of the things that you learned that you would share with colleagues?
So again, at a state level, I don't think I would do anything different, because quite frankly, all I had to do was pitch the idea that I got from a Montgomery County student. Working with the Department of Education, was one of the best things that I could have done, because basically once I pitched my idea, they were on board. They handled the social media voting. They handled all the submissions. They found the panel of judges, everything. So working with them was very, very important. Also, again, I mentioned it earlier, you have to offer incentives. You're not going to get people, unfortunately, that just says, oh yeah, I'd love to do this for nothing. We know that. So we got those gift cards. Also the press releases. They did, again, the Maryland Department of Education, all of their press releases were exactly the same. Like Ashley said, so anything that WBAL or anybody ran, it was exactly the same, but also it promoted and encouraged people to go online for the public voting. And one other thing that the Department of Education did, they came up with a 5-page document. It was basically terms and conditions. And I want to touch on this because, yeah, some people may be afraid to do this only because we are under a microscope, right? For instance, in the general election in Carroll County, someone submitted something with a toilet bowl. Okay, so yes, we're going to get ones that aren't very appealing because it's insulting the work that we do, right? So these terms and conditions that this education department came up with literally said has to be your original work, no words. It has to be certain criteria to even be considered to be judged. So that was very important. So if anyone's want to do this, they should look into like a terms and conditions. And then once we got those winners, the artwork basically became ours. So we're allowed to do whatever we want with them, what like Ashley did, put it on a shirt or something like that. But yeah, that's our stuff now.
Thank you for that. And Jackie, anything you'd add that you've learned and would share with colleagues who are thinking about this?
Sure. So anyone who's thinking about it, or if there's any nervousness, which we didn't have any, we from the beginning thought, well, this will be a really fun, exciting, opportunity for us and for the community. I think it was mentioned, we put out a press release announcing the competition, and then we got a lot of positive press throughout the process as the finalists were announced. We won the EAC award. So this has been like especially post 2020, an experience that it was embraced by the media, the voters, the election community. So all around it was really positive attention for elections and voting and for the elections office. We did set up rules when we created the contest. And again, I think I mentioned earlier, we encouraged an Ann Arbor theme, but it wasn't a requirement. But if anybody's nervous about cost or what kind of submissions you'll get, we had actually limited our design. We provided I think it was twice the size of the actual I voted sticker that you had to draw the entry within that so that it could be scalable to an actual sticker. We also limited to 3 colors, and I think that was a cost factor. But in seeing the other designs on this call, I might look into, what would it cost to open that up? Because I think your designs were much more colorful and vibrant, and we did restrict to 3 colors because at the time it was going to be an increase in what would normally be our budget for I voted stickers. But anybody that those are considerations, you can write that right into your rules. And the other thing we did was we wanted it to say I voted or something about voting, but obviously no political slogans. And then we restricted dates so that the sticker could be used not just in 2020, but we could continue it as long as we wanted. So there are ways that you can make it, cost effective, and you can also sort of make the rules to ensure that if you're looking for a more traditional I voted, or I voted in Ann Arbor, Michigan, or whatever you're looking for. So that was something that we thought of at the front end. Real quick, if I can, one other positive story is, again, I mentioned that our arts community was very they very much wanted the artists to be compensated. And so we did have a prize for taking control of the art that they created. And the citywide winner, to make this full circle, donated his prize to the local League of Women Voters. So I just thought that was a really like nice, happy ending to the winner of the citywide competition.
That is great. Jackie, Erin, Ashley, thank you for joining this great conversation. It was fun to learn more about some of your efforts, and I'm sure your colleagues across the country will benefit from your experience and expertise. And so thank you.